Good morning, everyone. This is Brad Walsh, host of the podcast Empowerography, coming to you from Toronto. Today's guest is Jessica Gorlicky, artist, painter, all-around awesome woman, just incredible. She's a beautiful soul. And Jess, how you doing this morning?
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. I am awesome. The sun is shining.
Excellent.
I just learned it's Thursday and not March 97th. It's actually April 2nd today, which is cool.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Cool.
So I understand you had a live event last night.
I did. So
How
on
did that go?
Wednesdays, thank you for asking. On Wednesdays, when I'm in Toronto and I get a chance to participate and I'm not working or just, doing something creative or shooting at my studio, I go and do an ecstatic dance at a place called Alternity by owner Jesse Buck. And Jesse Buck is sort of like, just like a dance healer, cut tight influencer for the community of Toronto who, likes to play with music and vibes. And they get international DJs to donate their time, and we all just get to dance like nutcases, which is obviously all I want to do in my life. So we zoomed in last night, and there was about 67 people, I think, that logged on.
Okay.
And we had some great music, and I did a live painting.
Awesome.
Just from my heart for fun, because, that's one of my joie de vivre, my reasons for living. Mm-hmm. My passion, which is performance art. It's also my bread and butter. I've been, performing for about 20 years across North America, mostly in Toronto, Montreal, and New York.
Awesome. So the event was a success. You had fun. Everybody had fun.
Yeah, I had fun. I made a great piece of art. I'm actually going to post it later. I'm very lucky to be quarantined with a very talented photographer named Eric Carrière. From Montreal right now. So we are quarantining.
Yeah. Awesome.
And we get to shoot and play together. So it's really, really awesome. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Great. So can you tell me about a particular moment when you knew in your life that you had to be an entrepreneur, you had to be a painter?
Yeah. I had a few pivotal turning points. I would say that as early as 17 years old, I was already working 3 jobs. I was a young go-getter, and I was also denied getting into art school that I had wanted to I guess, participate with at York University. I got denied fine arts, and that was a huge blow. I had been painting for years already with my sister in my parents' basement, figuring out my style, just going for it. And I was so hurt and denied that I just said, you know what, screw this. I'm doing it anyways. And I was a sick kid also. So those 2 things, being a sick kid was like, well, I don't know what's going to happen to me tomorrow. Why would I do something that I don't want to do? Why would I do something that I don't like to do?
What do you mean you were a sick kid?
Yeah, I was a sick kid. I couldn't go to all the camps. I couldn't always participate outside and outdoors. I was an asthmatic since I was 2. I had skin problems, rashes in the sun. I was covered from head to toe in eczema. Kids would ask me, like, what is that on your skin? I was covered. I had blood that would come through some of my shirts because, the eczema was so bad. And it was insane. So, I really struggled with allergies, eczema, and asthma. Those three are very interconnected in the body. And by 10, I was immune to antibiotics. It was bad. It was really bad.
That's horrible.
So the story goes deep into, I guess, suffering and pain at an early age, and just doing whatever made me happy basically formed who I was in my personality. And I took that into my everything. Like, I'm just going to always do what makes me happy because I have been unhappy. Wow. And I have struggled. So that was, that's definitely when you ask that question, I know this is a long answer, but
No,
I'm going
that's okay.
right back into the need to find my reason for wanting to live, because I was suffering hard. I suffered a lot.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's quite the story.
So I was really young, and that's why people were like, how long have you been doing this for? I'm like, I've been doing this forever. I just turned 40, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. Like, what? How did you know? I was like, well, you learn a lot about yourself when you're alone, and you're alone and when you're young, and when you have no choice other than to find what really makes you tick and what makes you happy. And that was around 17 for me.
Wow. So how did you decide to turn your passion as a painter into a business? Where did that come from?
I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. I was really this, like, flying off the ceiling, flying off the roof. I just want to be an artist. I'm a gypsy woman. I have no idea where I'm going. How do I do this? And I had, a few really incredible angels along the way that really shown me, like, Jess, you need to have a brand. I was like, what the hell's a brand? Yeah. Which I'm really good at now. I've been told, over the last 10, 15 years, apparently I'm really good at self-promoting, and I'm really good at figuring out what works online, how to do that, how to rely on myself to promote. But I had a lot of amazing family and friends who said, Jess, if you go in this direction, you can actually, market yourself, you can brand yourself, you can be that entrepreneur. I didn't even know what any of that meant. So there were a few key angels that had been by my side. My ex-husband is one of them, his family, my parents, their support, some really good friends who had a few years on me who were in totally different industries, like Aaron Spector, who was a lawyer, who bought a bunch of my artwork when he was 10 years older than me and totally established. He was like, here, kid, I like your art. Keep going. I'm going to buy 10 pieces. I was like, he blew my mind. He changed.
Wow. He
changed me as a 21-year-old at that lunch where he said, I'm going to buy this many pieces. I was like, you are? What the heck? What? That was drugs. I was on drugs, like, from the high of I didn't know what selling a few pieces felt like. And I remember saying to myself, I think this is what drugs feels like. It was, and I sold those pieces, and I was so excited to keep going. And then, of course, I did go to York, and I snuck into all these fine art courses, and I did all the classes I could where I didn't get into the painting and the drawing, and I did them. I was like, I'm going to take linguistics and political science and all these crazy ass things that an artist wouldn't take, and I'll take fine arts as my electives and see what I was missing, and I did it all. I did it all.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I also taught myself 4 languages in the process.
Wow. And what 4 languages did you learn?
I speak Italian, Spanish, French, and the 4th is obviously English, but my fifth is a 20% of all these other languages that I've picked up along the way, like
in your Greek, travels and whatnot.
Hebrew and Russian.
Wow.
I speak a little bit of Russian now, so that's fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's good. It's a passion, it's a pleasure. It's a power, language, and being able to, talk your vibration in a completely different language is a completely different vibration. It's really empowering. It's really special. It's really incredible to communicate. I want to communicate. I want to connect.
Yeah. Awesome. So what have you found to be one of the most frustrating things about being in business for yourself, being an entrepreneur? Because I find artists, a lot of artists nowadays, all they want to do is focus on the art part of it and not worry about the business part. So what do you find the most frustrating things about business?
Right. Well, that's the thing. And Brad, because you are one of us, that we wear 20 different hats to get somewhere. Yep. And I'm not saying that we need to be necessarily pat on the back or recognized for doing so much, but I would just like to, for all of the non-artists out there who are like, oh yeah, you guys, you throw some paint on a canvas and it's up on a wall and you sell it. It just takes so much. And I just like there to be an awareness about how many hats we all have to wear to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to just show appreciation to the other artists out there by saying that, because I know what it takes. And it takes a hell of a lot more than it looks. And it is, frustrating at times because we've got to learn. We've got to keep learning. Oh my God, I don't want to. I just want to paint.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to paint and frolic around in my underwear and take fun photos.
Yeah.
And have almond milk lattes at whatever time in the morning I want to. But I got to call Hydro and Bell right now, and I really don't want to.
Yeah.
I got to do all of that businessy shit. All of it. Got to be a real human. I'm 40. It's just, I'm not allowed.
Yeah, we got to adult, right?
Yeah, we really got to adult, and we got to be creative inside of that. For example, Brad, right now, everything is shut down.
Yes.
How the hell does an artist make money right now? We got to be even more creative.
Yep. I've been watching some webinars and listening to podcasts during this past few weeks, and a lot of the people that I've been listening to are saying online learning, teaching people online is going to be absolutely massive. So if you can do something like that, teach people stuff about art and go for it, do it. You'll make money.
This is it. I should have listened to my friend Patrick Tessier, another angel inspiration of mine, Montrealer, who does holographs and is a tech for huge companies. And he's been telling me for years, Jess, the amazing teacher that you are, why don't you put that online?
You should.
And so, now I'm forced to.
You absolutely should capitalize on it, Jess. If you can, do it.
Yeah.
100%.
So, let's see. I've got the space. I've got this incredible studio.
You do.
That has been quarantined since March 1st.
Yeah.
And I now live down the street from it. I have this incredible space. So, I don't know. I think that will be the place where we can see how that teaching and podcasting and I guess maybe building the lessons. I've got the time now. I can build the lessons.
Exactly. And that's what I'm finding too for me personally is I'm making use of this time that we have now and doing things like this and working on my website and watching tutorials to learn different techniques, and you got to take advantage and do everything you can to that way you can hit the ground running when things do get back to normal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you said that, I just saw you in my mind doing it's called light photography or painting photography, where you you swoosh your camera in the air and you catch all these rays of light. Anyways, that vision just came to me as you said that you were learning. I was like, oh, cool. There he is. Throwing his camera up in the air, catching all this light.
Well, maybe
cool.
maybe due to your vision, I should try and play around with light painting then. This is a sign.
I can be your subject in the future when we're unquarantined.
Absolutely, 100%.
And have a real martini, and we can throw the camera up in the air, and you can light paint me.
Yes,
or whatever it's called in photography land.
So, what are some of the challenges you faced early on in your career as an artist, and how did you overcome them?
Getting that first website. I remember when I got help making it. Doing the technical stuff, it was always easy for me to paint. It was never hard for me to find an idea. It was definitely hard for me to be put in a box and be structured. And having to do that has actually made me more successful. But the resistance to the structure was the hardest part for me, which is still hard for me. I want to have a bit of a routine. I want to wake up. I literally get to my emails from 9 to noon, sitting on the computer, drilling away, putting proposals together, sitting down and doing that work, starting a routine in that way. That was very difficult. I don't know about you, but the administrative side. But once I got the hang of the administrative side, like once I know how to do something, I'm good. But putting a painting collection together and actually structuring that, and not just being like, oh, today I want to paint Marilyn Monroe, and tomorrow I'm going to do this crazy dark abstract of the ocean. Like actually making a collection makes sense. So I just early on, I wanted to see how that would look. I had one collector come over to my parents' house when I was about 18 years old. She came with her husband, and she came to my parents. My parents had paintings all over their home. And I sort of was like, she's like, yeah, she called me. She goes, hi, I got your number, such and such. I don't remember. And I heard, you've got some really nice paintings. Like I'm a collector. I'd like to come over and take a look. I was like, well, I am 18 and I live with my parents. Do you want to come over? She's like, yeah, I actually do want to come over. I was like, okay, cool. Mom and Dad, someone's coming over to look at my stuff. And she did come over, and I had all these paintings up, and she basically was like, listen, you've got really nice art, and I love your use of color, and I can see the contrast, and I know you're really young, but like you're kind of everywhere, like you're kind of all over the place. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? She's like, I mean, maybe you could call me back one day when you have more of like a set style. And that stayed with me forever.
Really?
And I was like, a set style. And the guy who didn't let me into the York University Fine Arts program, he also was like, your abstracts are nice, and then you've got these landscapes, and then you've got these portraits, and it was kind of all over the place, and it kind of messed with people who, I guess, are used to seeing an artist who paints, for example, horses, and they only paint horses.
Right.
And like, for you shooting, you paint these, you photograph architecture, for example, or cityscapes, and that's your style. And I was like, why does it have to be that way?
Exactly.
It kind of really pissed me off. So that was a struggle that I had, I remember, for years. I know that was also a long-winded answer, but I just wanted to refer to a story to paint a picture of that was, and that still sticks with me today. It's like, oh, this has to make sense. Everything has to look like it's the same artist. I was like, but that's not me. Yeah. I have all these ranges. Why can't I just be like me? Why do I have to be in this structured box? So that was really something that has always stayed with me and been sort of I'm not sure what's up with that. My why for creating is because I love to create.
Yeah.
And if I can just be me inside of that creation and take what I need to with, the types of structures that I've built and learned, and it's working, then I'm just going to let it keep going and keep discovering my creative self through that module.
Just do Jess. That's it.
Yeah. Just do you.
Yep. If you could go back and change any one thing, like go back to when you first started out, would there be anything that you would do differently? Any one thing?
Oh, man.
Looking back and having the experience you have now.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember at 19, 20, just like going into every boutique or bar, hotel lobby and saying, hey, I took these terrible photos of my art. There's no website. There's no we didn't have cell phones. It was like 98, 99, 2000. And I did what I could, and I canvassed myself around, and I just said, I'm ready now to put up this artwork. And it worked. And I put up all this artwork everywhere, and it was visible. I made these little business cards. And the only thing that I can say that I would have changed is just, I really went for it, is that I would have done more of that. Wow. Because that was what made my name today sort of spread for the years of me just like putting it everywhere. But in the places that obviously vibed with the type of artwork that I was selling. Of course. So it worked. I would have done more of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is your unique skill set or superpower that has helped you become successful the way you are today?
I like people. I like people. I like art. I like people who are art. I like art who are people. I like colors. I like to see what happens when people are inside of those colors. And I like earth and its humans and its trees. And I like it a lot. And I feed from that.
Okay. But I find funny that most artists are stereotyped as introverts and dark, and you are not that at all. You are on the other end of the scale.
I know. It's ridiculous.
We need more of you. We need more artists like you out there.
Thank you. There's a crazy, funny bunch of stigmas that come with all of the things. Like, I never touched drugs, for example. And I've been like this. Oh, you for sure do psychedelics, or oh, you must just get stoned and paint all day. I'm like, what? Who? When and where? I can't even take a drag. I wish I could. I mean, that sounds like so much fun. So yeah, there's all of these things, right?
It's crazy. The stereotypes is so funny.
It's freaking crazy. Yeah,
it is. So where do you pull your inspiration from for your paintings? Where does that? I'm sure it comes from many sources, but what are some of the sources you get your inspiration from?
Sure. And I would have to go with life in general, and I'm going to be super cheesy and gypsy woman about this. I'm going to go with,
that's okay.
I mean, it's such a long list. I'm going to go with, like, I'm looking at the city skyline right now from my window, and I'm going to go with the gradient colors in the sky from the fireball, which we forget is in the sky with all the gradient colors in the sky, called the sun.
Yeah.
And that is mind-blowing on its own, enough to set my soul on fire for many lifetimes, that it rises and falls, how cool life is, and that we get to share love, be love, dance with music that just naturally feels organic into a way the body moves, how complex we are, and how fun it is just to create and see what happens on the other side. Like, I just think it's exciting. It's just fun. It's unknown. We don't know where we're going. And there's a sense of mystery and stimulation, and it's exciting. I'll go with those.
I love it. That's an awesome answer.
Thank you.
Many sources of inspiration. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, did you find it tough then, as an artist, to make the transition to painting? Yes, I know you still paint because you love it, but also making that transition into being an entrepreneur, to worry about running a business as well as focusing on your art.
Yeah, and I still do. And I've got this incredible studio in the design district here in the most amazing Toronto, which is, and so do we all, whoever lives in Toronto who's listening to this.
Yeah.
They have this conversation with a lot of successful people a lot of the time that are doing really well, who are still like, wait a second, how the hell am I doing all this and still paying for all this? And then I have to be creative inside of all of this, and I mean, it never ends.
Yeah.
Our job is exciting, and it's awesome, and it's hard effing work, and it's all of our energies, it's all of our powers, and I certainly don't do it alone. I've been working with two people who've been helping assist on various platforms of my work. Miguel and Lisa have been by my side for over 5 years now.
Yeah.
And there is just no way I could do what I do by myself. So, I mean, people are like, holy shit, you're really busy. It just looks like you never rest. I'm like, dude, I mean, I'm starting to rest now. In 2018, I had like a really mind-blowing, life-altering reset where I call it my death.
Yeah.
Like, I died, and then I had to re-pick up the pieces, and 2019 was a magical year of the hard, I guess, going 6 feet under and then resurrecting. And now I'm benefiting from all of the work that I had done, but I actually really took some time in 2018, 2019. And I think that is so important for all of us, just to reboot, regenerate new cells. We're changing all the time. We have so much going on. Like, I am so tired. I don't even know how tired I am until I slowed down.
Wow. I mean, I think too, it's key for artists and business people as well, business people that are in business, entrepreneurs and whatnot, but I think artists too, is to have a good support system in place. You have to have that. It's so key.
Oh, I wouldn't have made it. I don't know where I'd be. I wouldn't have made it. I have the close friends that are my sisterhoods, and the two helper assistant artist plus fam. Like, man, did I have an army hanging out waiting for me to help, because I needed it. And I can definitely, this is not something that we can do all by ourselves.
Absolutely not.
It's insane. Yeah, it's insane. And what we need to do to survive, hey, we all do it differently, and we all have our systems, and sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, true enough.
And then you just got to step back up and do it again if you want to, or do something else. This is what I want to do forever in a many multitude of ways. I want to paint, I want to perform, I want to play, I want to dance. And I'm going to just keep doing that in all the ways that make my body, my mind, emotionally, physically, spiritually connect and feel happy.
Do you find that artists and art in general, I'll go with artists, still don't get taken seriously as a career? Art doesn't get taken seriously. Do you find that? I know I do personally, but photography.
I think I mean, you guys have it hard right now because everyone's a photographer with their phone and they're, oh man, that's tough. I see it with Eric, and obviously with a lot of the photographers that I've worked with in the past. And I think that there's different ways to answer that question with different zones. It's like, oh, you're a fine artist somehow. And Erica and I have had this conversation. He's like, I'm not seen as an artist. I was like, what? How could that doesn't even go into my brain and make any sense at all. I was like, how? He's like, I'm telling you, I'm an event photographer, and I do portraits. I also take photos of homes, and I'm hired for all of these different lifestyle type jobs, and I'm not seen as an artist. I was like, how is that even possible? You're by contract from crazy companies or individuals or beautiful big companies. So, when I say I'm a fine artist, it's like, oh, you're a painter. So I feel like there's different ways to look at answering that question depending on which industry you're in the arts. So I'm going to say yes, it is, to answer the question, it's, but I also think it's changing a little bit because it's not that same Van Gogh, you're going to cut your ear off and be homeless, to you're going to die to get noticed. I am living proof that that's not realistic. Right. That I have done pretty well. And pretty well. Yeah. And I'm 40. So, and I'm living off my art for the last almost 20 years as, here I am. Awesome. So, but I'm not in the ROM. I'm not in the Ontario, not at, anyways, whatever. I don't know where I am. I'm pacing my place. I'm so full of energy.
You're at Jessica.
Sweating.
You're at
I'm
Jessica.
Sweating.
That's where you are. So you had alluded to the fact that you want to do this forever, but here's something I'm very curious. What profession other than what you're doing as an artist would you be doing if you weren't an artist, do you think? What else would you like to do in life?
I have thought about this a lot. And I've had others ask. I don't know. I think my first dream at 10 that I can remember was that I was a writer. It was like, there was this real similar kind of attraction and like sexiness to me in my mind about being this like deep thinking writer. Okay. So maybe...
Do you write? Do you currently write?
I write
like
it every
poetry
day.
And okay.
I write every day, and it's more like, affirmations. It's messages to the universe and myself, or it's like, I call it a brain dump, where you just dump it out, and it's a form of therapy where I get to move on from that. And it's a way of, if I don't feel like saying it aloud and using my voice, I can get it out in a different way. And basically, I think as I've noticed myself getting older, all of the things that I do are basically forms of therapy for me and ways to move through something. Because every day, our minds are super active. It's like, I walk. My walking is a daily ritual. I call it a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what writing is. And it allows me to release something or go into a meditative state, or it is a realization of something that I need to sort through. It's like a brain compartmentalizing sorting.
Okay. So there you go. You could write a book of affirmations, Jess.
There it is. I've got 400 journals of 20 years waiting. I just got to go through them all.
Now you have to edit it all, Jess.
Yeah. That's the part I don't want to do. I'll hand it off to someone else.
So what would you say then, up to this point in your professional artist career, is your biggest high or your biggest win, or even in life, either or?
Biggest high, biggest win. I don't know. I think that last night I was painting solo in my studio on a Zoom, where I did feel, a musical connection and a human connection, even though I was by myself. And I looked at the shadowing that I had done around the facial features. And I sort of said to myself, I think I fucking nailed it. And I remember having, and I sort of like had this rewind of 5 years ago. Why did I have that rewind? I took the canvas that I was working on from my storage, because I actually haven't gone to the art store to buy new canvases. And I decided that I was going to reach into these old canvases that maybe I had painted that I no longer connect with. I took one off the storage shelf and I said, you know what, I'm going to work on that one. I'm not going to start blank. So when I'm performing, I always start blank. There's nothing on it. It's white. I either have a small sketch or I go totally, random on something, and I have an idea or I don't have an idea. I said, I'm going to work on that one and I'll just add to it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm really in love with what I did. And I remember it's dated back October 2015, almost 5 years ago. And I looked at what the face was before I started, obviously, to the 5 years of, more experienced. And I said, I think I just realized my step up to what I had been able to create then as to now, all that experience and how it's helped me grow into knowing what to do with a human face, or the shadowing and the shades. And it's cool. It's cool to look back. It's cool to say,
it is. I
got a little better.
Yeah, isn't it awesome when you look back on your work and you can see how much you've progressed? I was just talking with someone about this yesterday, and I've looked back on photos I took 10 years ago and 15 years ago, and at the time I thought they were amazing, and when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, these are horrible. But I've come such a long way, and it's really awesome to see that transformation in your work and in you.
And it's important for us to say, hey, man, you have progressed.
Yes.
It's an evolution here. You're better than you were, and that's great. You kept going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who are some of your influences, maybe artistically and personally?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. In 2018, at my death, I decided to step into a yoga teacher training.
Okay.
Which also had sound healing as a part of the course. And I gained so much new knowledge about the body, the connection to sound, which is so important for me while I work. Sound is what moves me through my artwork, essentially. And so there were a bunch of the teachers who trained for this course that I would say at the Womb Center in the Lower East Side of New York that were really had some real life altering, I guess, openings for me, as well as just, I mean, I've been really cared for the last, my whole life. I feel very blessed for a lot of the souls that I've attracted, and the frequency and the vibration that has sort of brought us together. I've got these, I call us like, we're like, it's a sisterhood. I've got like these 10 sisters I've known for 30 years. We're like a crew. We're like a badass, hot bitch crew. And we all do something different, and we're awesome. And I just, and they inspire me all the time. We shoot ideas off of one another. I have different conversations with each and every one of them. And I have 2 sisters of my own. Yeah. So, it's like, it's just, there's a lot of women, there's a lot of female vibrance, a lot of female inspired energies that are always circling me. That's awesome. I mean, and obviously there's the great painters of our times and for our time. I've studied art history. I studied art history in Italy when I was 17. I'm obviously, I love every form of art history. I love all the periods. I am a Renaissance junkie. I studied Renaissance a lot. So that period is inspiring to me as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
I think I would fly.
Fly. Okay.
Fly.
All right.
Yeah. I'm a bird and I want to fly.
What's your favorite word?
Love.
What's your favorite curse word?
Oh, fuck. It's so versatile.
It is.
What the fuck? How the fuck are you? No fucking way.
It can be used as a verb, a noun, an adjective. It's awesome.
It's all over the place. It's everywhere. Are you fucking serious? No fucking way. Who the fuck are you?
What the fuck are you doing? Are you fucked?
Are you fucking serious? You fucked.
I love it. How do you define success, Jess?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with an inner peace.
Okay.
When you have a sense of an equilibrium that is just peaceful and equanimous, you are steady, you are balanced. That's success. Because then you can do anything. Then you've got it all.
Awesome.
And health.
Yeah.
And health has been a battle for me. So
yes, obviously. Yes. From when you were young. So
success is not, monetarily, it's really fun to have money.
Sure.
And I welcome it. And I also had it. And then, I spend it back in my business and on a continual basis so that I can keep going.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of forms, a lot of different ways to measure success for sure.
What is the best advice you've ever received? Personal or professional?
I mean, I don't know. I have to think about that.
Okay, we'll come back to
Not sure. Yeah. There's so many. There's so many. It's hard to choose.
What does the word empowerment mean to you?
The word empowerment means get your ass up off the couch and go and fucking do what you want to do to enhance your life, the world, or someone you love, and be yourself.
What do you say? So I've thought about this often too. As we spoke about earlier, being an entrepreneur is not easy, making that jump. But what do you say to people who, like you personally, what would you say to someone you're having this discussion about this type of thing, being an entrepreneur, and they're stuck in a job they hate and they don't, they can't do it. I can't. What do you say to people who say that?
Yeah, and I've had a bunch of people who've actually come to me over the years, ones that I've known and haven't known who've been complete strangers. And they have said that they actually wanted to speak to me about making like one of the largest moves. They're moving to Toronto from Alberta, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm scared, and like I just feel like I wanted to bounce this idea off you. I say that we have to do ourselves the service by trying it. We've got to do it. Like, we have to, our truth comes for us. And so when we're not listening, it's still talking, but we're just resisting it. And what happens then is that it just persists. Right. You know, that those ideas of being an artist, for example, don't go away. We can push them under the rug. Yeah. But they don't go away. So our truth, when we're listening, can be really heard clearly. And so I think that we have to listen.
Well, I've heard a saying, a friend of mine told me once, and I think it's perfect for what you're just saying now. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yes.
I love that saying. I love it.
It is.
Can you share a situation that's occurred in your life that you feel provides insight to who you are, insight to your character?
Can I provide, say that one more time?
Can you share a situation that's occurred in your life that will provide, that you feel provides insight to your character, to who you are?
It was 2009. I was asked if I had ever performed in front of 2,000 plus people before. Wow. And a friend of mine, Jeff Kahane, said, who's, he is like branded most of my shows. He's been by my side graphically, turning it into my brand into a better brand. He's super, super successful. We've grown together over the last 15 years. And he said, I'm going to give your number to someone. I was like, okay, cool. And Bram Goldstein called me from Big HQ. And he's an entertainment company here in Toronto. And he said, hey, Jess, I'm going to be doing this RBC Winter Olympics torch relay that I'm going to be doing about, 150 shows with the torch relay across the country. And I want you to come on tour with us. And I said, I'm sorry, what? It's the best experience. Like, I don't even know what. I don't know. He goes, yeah, but you have to paint in 6 minutes on stage in the cold in 2 different cities every single day. Wow. And you're going to have a caravan and a driver, and you're going to be an RBC representative. And you're going to be the artist that paints it on stage right before the cauldron gets lit in each city every single time. Then we sing out Canada. Cauldron gets lit. We're going to donate that piece to each town and city that we go to across Canada. I was like, whoa. I'm freaking out. And I remember my first show in Hamilton, December 15th, 2009. And I looked out at the crowd. It was like minus 15. I was like, how are all these people out here? It's freezing. Yeah. And I was like, I could not breathe. I could not breathe. I looked out into the crowd. I was coldly sweating, shivering, freaking out. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I don't think I can do this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't go up there in front of all these people. How am I supposed to paint? The thing is spinning. It was the first time I'd ever spun one of my, that's what I do when I'm performing. I spin the canvas. It spins around and I get to control where it's going. If you've seen my videos. I've seen you work. Yes. And so there's 100 of those on YouTube. Thank you so much. There's 100 of those different versions, for different companies that I've done, of course. And my time came and it was like, hey, Jess, it's like 7:52 and 35 seconds. And there's 200 people coordinating this moment and the cauldron's about to run in. People are screaming. And it was my turn. And it was like a moment where I said to myself, okay, Jess, like you can actually decide not to do this right now, even though you have a contract to do it. But you can actually do it and get out there and act and listen and breathe. I didn't breathe. I definitely didn't breathe, but I did go out on that stage.
Breathing's good.
Breathing is good. I definitely didn't breathe. I actually finished. I had 7 minutes, 6 minutes and 45 seconds. I finished the painting in 4 minutes and 35 seconds. And I turned around so scared to address the 7,000 people that were in the audience. To even have a moment of interaction, there was we had an MC who was like, Jessica's finishing the painting. And then he looks at me, he's like, it's not time yet. I was like, what? I have to breathe. I can't even know. And I looked at the painting. I was like, oh my God, I finished the painting. Yes. And I was terrified. And the point of my story is that, like, I am terrified a lot. I am really good at, moving and painting and not, like the large audiences scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I've been scared a lot, and I've had to go through these moments to push me to the absolute limit of where I think I'm going to combust so I can move on and do it again and do it again and then get really, really good at it. And it's like, how'd you get there? Well, I went through a lot of crazy shit in my mind and my body so that I could get there. It wasn't just, yeah, you were made for it. It was no problem for you. You looked so natural out there. I was like, well, the turmoil on the inside, let me tell you. So we got to show up. We got to show up, and we got to, life is going to do that for us anyways. It's going to push us to a place of discomfort where we have to just keep learning and we have to keep growing. And that is something that you and I and many other people it's a consistent thing that keeps popping up that pushes us to either be greater and show up and act. And here we are. And so, I did about 75 shows. There was another artist, wow. Fritz. Fritz is a really good buddy of mine. He did about a bunch of shows, and we were on tour we couldn't sustain doing more than 3 weeks at a time. So I would tour for 3 weeks. He would tour for 3 weeks, and we kept swapping it up, and it was awesome. It was the best. It was the most incredible experience of my life.
No doubt. So I know you started a side project, or there's a side project that you were working on. It started a while ago, I think. The Fuck I Love You project. Can you tell us a bit about that? How that came about and what it's all about?
Yeah, how much time do we have?
Oh, we got a bit. We're okay.
I can make it a short story.
I'll leave it up to you. You do whatever you want.
Okay, cool. So yes, I wasn't really saying that this was a movement that I was a part of for a while. It's a street art tag. Essentially, it's a graffiti piece that was placed. I'm not going to admit that I did all of those placements myself. I'm just going to say that it was placed out there in the world in places that were urban and like-minded, where there has been other graffiti or other tags, stickers, or spray paint. As the message "Fuck I Love You" started popping up in New York City in 2018. Again, that death that had happened pushed me towards the complete unknown, not having a place necessarily to live, traveling around the world, sleeping on random couches, checking in and not, living at hotels. I was just a pure vagabond gypsy, and this was my project. I had stayed with a close friend of mine who lived in New York at the time named Jessica, who just gave me the keys to her apartment and said, "Here you go, babe. This place is yours." And she helped shine this huge light of, what do you want to say right now? And I was really angry, and I had all this love, and "Fuck I Love You" was in so many ways just the perfect way for me to say all of the things that I was going through at the time. And it spread organically in New York on some of the pathways over the Williamsburg Bridge in Williamsburg, in Brooklyn, then into the Lower East Side when I started studying yoga in April 2018. And I needed to cover New York. It needed to cover New York. And I had people who wanted to help me cover New York because they were into it. And that happened one day, as it's described to me from many New Yorkers. One day we woke up and it was fucking everywhere.
That's pretty wild.
Yep, it was. And it was everywhere. And it was from Chelsea to Meatpacking, Soho, Lower East Side. And, New York was a home for me at that time. I've been living there for the last year in Chelsea and in Williamsburg. So that was a thing that I just needed to do as a personal project and take a hiatus off of doing any other personal projects. Like I've usually each year I make a new collection of art And I have a huge blowout show where I invite everyone to my venue or another gallery experience so that you can come into the collection that I built, which is basically like coming into a whole other world, which is in my mind. Very cool. In 2016, I had one in Miami and in New York. And I had basically had 2 back-to-back, which almost totally kicked my ass. And I said, you know what, I'm taking a year or 2 off. I need to do something else. So this was the right time for me to dig into something totally different. And of course, being a Canadian, Toronto, I realized when I got back to Toronto for a gig, I was like, wait a second, how did I not plant this seed here? This is my town.
Yeah.
And then, you know, having a lot of gigs in Montreal, I also feel very connected to Montreal. Montreal's always been a high priority stopping grounds. I have gallery representation there. I feel creative there. I love to eat and dance and drink there. Love to converse en français avec les Québécois. I absolutely love Quebec. So I'm a huge fan. So I was like, these are my 3 cities. I'm going to plant Fuck I Love You in New York, Toronto, Montreal, get it covered, let's go. And then I woke up one day a few months later feeling so much lighter. Every time I had planted one of those tags in a place where I saw someone either interact with it or I received a random message on the Instagram page that I had posted. I've seen thousands of people and their photography who have interacted with this little heart that says, fuck, I love you. None of those are my photos on the Instagram page. Thousands from around the world have had their own moment with it. Was the most incredible therapy that I've ever experienced. I can't even believe what it's done.
Yeah, that's got to be an incredible feeling to see these photographs from people.
There's still thousands I need to repost. I'm like, how do they just keep on coming? And I think it was the end of 2018, I realized I really need to take it around the world. And I had gotten this job in Australia for the first time. It was like the furthest gig I've ever manifested. Holy shit. And I spent 3 more weeks doing other cities in Australia that I really wanted to revisit. I had been to Sydney. I'd lived there once before for 6 months. So I did a 10-day Sydney, 10-day Melbourne. And I loved the entire city. Like, I just did whatever I could.
Awesome.
So Melbourne is a real hotspot. It's really great. Really, besides Paris and New York, I'd say that there's the most graffiti in Melbourne.
Really?
Then Paris would be second, and New York is first.
That's wild.
Paris is a close first. Graffiti central. Oh, it's incredible. My 1 week to Paris by myself in the rain, which it did not stop raining. All of my fuck I love yous came out dripping, and, like, sad and crying and like gothic. I look back at them, I couldn't even find the right red in any of the stores. I had to go with different colors and change it. And like, you know, you just have to, there's so much happened just by trying to get one of those properly on a wall. You have no idea. So
no,
it took,
you're right.
all my energy. Yeah, you have no idea.
You did it.
We did it. I definitely did it. I took it around the world.
That's pretty
literally
awesome.
From, thank you, Melbourne to London to Paris.
That is very cool.
LA and Vancouver. It's coast to coast.
Awesome.
Across the globe. Very proud.
I'm sure, and so you should be.
I've trademarked, and I've spent a little bit of money doing that for the business side to protect what I've built for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So got to take precautions for something that was totally unexpected, but now it's working. So let's keep it going. Yeah.
So can we go back to this advice question? Did you give it any thought?
Yes. Ask me again.
What is
please.
the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received. I think I'm going to go with just don't give up. Just don't give up. It's really simple. Just don't give up. If you want it, just go get it.
I love it.
Give it a shot. Yeah,
that's great. So many people, I think it's sometimes hard when you're at that point and you want to give up, because I'm sure we've all hit that point. You don't know how close you are to making a breakthrough when you're at that low and ready to give up. So it's hard to see that don't give up, though. It's hard to really jump into that and believe it and just live it, to not give up at times. But you have to keep pushing.
Yeah, like in the darkest of the darks, sometimes these beautiful lights seep in through the crack, and that idea or that moment can show you a completely new perspective.
Very true.
Always have some faith. There's always going to be something there for you. The universe provides. Sounds cheesy. Don't care. It's true.
Beautiful.
I am definitely living proof of that.
So if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, whether it be personal, professional, anything, what would that advice be? Since we're talking about this.
Sure. I would say to myself, hey, Jess, I know you're crazy nervous. You've got all this crazy nervous energy. Just relax. Keep trusting. It's all going to unfold as it should.
Awesome.
So I would say.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jess.
Thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. It's been amazing. It's been so insightful, giving me a bit of insight into who you are and your story. And thank you so much for sharing your story.
I'm so grateful.
Oh, amazing. It was such a pleasure talking to you. I can't believe the time's gone by so quick, but it's been amazing.
I know.
Once again,
Thanks again for having me.
Brad Walsh, host of the Empowerography Podcast. My guest today was Jessica Gorlicky, artist extraordinaire based out of Toronto. Thank you again so much, Jess. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me and share your stories.
Oh, yeah. Pleasure's mine.
Have an awesome day.
To you too. Thank you.